aren't moving, hips actually locking decreases sensation, and she's not screaming and flailing. When it feels that good, when it's on the spot in that way, you don't want to move. And doing is keeping her in the optimal state of heightened sensation, rather than having this goal that he's always driving toward. She may or may not go into climax, but that's not the point. The point is to feel that connection throughout and to get that kind of deep saturation and pleasure in her body.
I really think that I'm so happy that you are bringing to light the orgasm and what it really means, because it not only helps us psychologically, but biologically.
Yes, it does.
It's very important for us sustaining our sexual being.
So there's two things that, okay, so as a physician, right, so I'm a gynecologist, so I have an interest in hormonal balance. And there are, like hormones, there's two hormones, if I'm working with a patient, there are two hormones I want really low, right? One of those is insulin, which has to do with how we eat, but the other one is cortisol, which has to do with stress, okay? When you do orgasmic meditation, one, you come in connection with another human being, and that connection starts to allow you to be connected with many human beings. You start to see human beings in a whole different light. And your connection lowers your cortisol, rises your oxytocin, and it makes you feel good, right? So, particularly for women who are really stressed, high-powered jobs, all those, this is a way to counteract a lot of the stress that gets built up. The other thing that I wanted to say was, there's a couple things. It probably, I suspect that it raises testosterone, because a lot of the men will talk about that their 5 o'clock shadow now is a 2 o'clock shadow. I think it raises testosterone, which lowering cortisol will do anyway. Right. It probably balances all of the hormones in a woman's body as well, and in the sense that, I mean, a lot of hormones that are out of balance will actually cause other chronic diseases like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, right? So when you balance all the hormones, especially bringing the cortisol down, especially bringing the insulin down, you are going to function much better. Your sexuality, your libido is going to be better. And sometimes, over 50, I sometimes will replace hormones, but less so if they're doing those things like taking care of themselves with their food, having a good sexual appetite, and having, connection with a partner, or however. We don't really, say that you have to be with one partner or multiple partners. That's sort of your choice, but we're just open to the whole gamut.
I have a question. Women after a certain age, their hormones do begin to decline.
Absolutely.
But having a regular orgasm or orgasmic experience, does that lessen the decline, or in even some cases, can it reverse
the decline? I think it does. I mean, I think one, just producing extra oxytocin, dropping the cortisol, that is going to do what you're saying. But I still think that, once women go into menopause, that there is a need for hormonal replacement. And so, which I do. I take estrogen, I take testosterone, I take progesterone, I take DHEA, I replace all of my hormones, which I know makes my skin better, my bones better, my heart, it improves my heart function, does a lot of good things for it, definitely my libido. I mean, without the hormones, what happens is that, as a gynecologist, I can see this, the vaginal walls actually atrophy, and even the clitoris atrophies. So I think, I think that we severely undertreat the endocrine system.
I think we, not only do we undertreat it, we treat it as a one-size-fits-all.
Absolutely.
And as women, our hormone balance fluctuates.
Yes, it does.
And so when we're prescribed these various pharmaceuticals, it's a one-size-treat-all, which may not do you any benefit.
So one of the things that I'm planning on opening up an orgasmic medicine clinic in alliance with One Taste. I will take labs every 3 to 4 months, and then I'm going to adjust the replacement of the hormones according to the labs, right? in addition to recommending a certain type of exercise, usually interval exercise, like aerobic with a little bit of weights, right? All of that to keep your body, and then you don't even have, I do like 30 minutes a day maybe. The hormone replacement, and of course a low carb diet is always, insulin is the most important thing to keep low when you eat. In this country we're so carb laden and processed food laden that we're killing ourselves with it, and we're killing our libido with it. And like what I find is that men, when they hit about 50, a lot of them start to lose their erections, and it has to do with the damage that's being done by the food we're eating to their cardiovascular system. So to reverse that, if, I get a man with that issue, I want to do all their hormones, and then I'll replace testosterone. I'll get them on a diet, I'll get them exercising, and it'll completely turn around their whole libido issues. There was one other thing that if I don't mind, I would like to add, is that there was this idea of living my life desire-based was a really huge, like what? Like when I first, I've lived my life very obligation-based. I'm a physician, I did my homework, I did all my studies, I got the right job. It's like, but I lived a very obligation and fun and laughter, and kind of went to the wayside. And of course that leaves me really hungry, and I was actually in medical school 300 pounds, right? Because I was feeding a hunger, that wasn't actually for food. When I came to One Taste, one of the things they said was I could live a desire-based life, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Like, what? And it's sort of like there was this dawning on me, like, what would that be like to just live desire-based, right? Like, here I was in a hospital working in a very masculine, judgmental, critical system, and very high stress, and you tell me do it desire-based, I'm like, oh my God, like I don't have to work like that. I can actually create it, which is what I'm doing. I'm creating it based on desire. Yeah, so I'm sitting there like, I would like to work with hormones, and I'd like to work with women, and I'd like to work with the men that they bring with them, and I would like to, teach people about health, stay young looking and vital and energetic.
That's so beautiful to hear, because I too am living from a desire base.
Yes.
I'm living my dreams. Yes. I'm manifesting them. I'm seeing them built.
So beautiful.
Contact with people like you,
yes,
who are on that same journey, and it's just reaffirming,
yes,
to know, I'm on that right path.
Yes.
And I think there's energies in the universe that is allowing this to come into being, so that they're fruitful in our endeavors.
Yes.
And I am, as I want to say again, experts, I have brought someone with very important. Look for Teresa Diaz. She will be giving great contributions in the area of sexual health and psychology as well, because it is psychology is based in your emotional well-being. And if you'd like to contact her, how can our audience contact her?
You can email me at orgasmicmedicine@gmail.com. My number, you can call me on my cell. It's 925-640-3501. And I would love to talk more about how I can help you get involved in orgasmic meditation and Orgasmic Medicine Center that we're setting up.
Thank you, Teresa, for sharing that information with us. The Orgasmic is integral in our development and who we are, and I am so glad that you are bringing it to the forefront where we can understand more its medical benefits and its emotional benefits to us. And we'll be looking forward to hearing more about orgasmic meditation and orgasmic medicine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. For people who would like to get more involved with orgasmic medicine and orgasmic meditation, you can look up onetaste.us. We do classes on a monthly basis. They're all-day class. They're usually an all-day Saturday, where you actually get to see a live demonstration of the practice. And at the end of the class, there is an optional lab where you could also try the practice with trained coaches. And then in December, 13th, 14th, and 15th, we will be doing our next OMX, which is Orgasmic Meditation Experience Conference. It's a 3-day conference that will be very exciting. I'm excited about doing it. I am hoping to talk at that conference. And if you'd like to more information about that, you can look it up on onetaste.us.